Welcome back. Now we're going to undertake the process of setting up for content marketing. And in an earlier process, we looked at being able to set up a website through Blogger, assuming you didn't have an existing website. However, more than likely, if you intend to have a website and you intend to use it for content marketing, you're probably going to be using a WordPress website. Now, if you have a typical hosting setup, you're going to start with your control panel in order to set up a WordPress website. And you're typically going to have a software section of your control panel. In this case, we have an additional application called WordPress Manager. Now, if you have something like that, you can use it. Otherwise, you can look inside of Fantastico or a similar application. We're going to choose the WordPress Manager and we're going to create a new site. Now, we're going to create a website underneath a new subdirectory. We're going to call it Store. We're then going to create an admin user, admin password, and then we're going to set up the WordPress website. And once we have everything in place, we're then going to click Install. You'll then have a login page. You can log into your WordPress website. Now, this is not designed to be a full-blown tutorial on how to do content marketing with WordPress. However, there are going to be some steps that are going to be unique to your Etsy business. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to increase the functionality of the website by adding in a plugin that connects to our Etsy account. Now, when you go to your plugins and you write in the word Etsy in the Add Plugins area, you're going to see a plugin called Etsy Shop. What you're going to do is install that plugin. Once the plugin is installed, you'll then click Activate. What you're then going to do is go to the Settings area. You're then going to go to the Etsy Shop. What you'll need first is going to be your Etsy API key. We're going to find that Etsy API key by clicking on this link that says Create a new Etsy App API. What we're going to do is we're going to describe the connection between our application and Etsy. We're going to check all the appropriate boxes. Once we complete it, we'll then click the CAPTCHA, and then we'll click Read Terms and Create App. You'll check the box. You'll then click Create App. Now, Etsy is going to require you to set up two-factor authentication before you can save for the application. So we're going to go ahead and select one of the authentication methods, and we're going to go through the process. Once you've completed, you should be able to go back and set up your app. We'll now read the terms again and create the app. You'll then have an API key that you can go back and place inside of your WordPress website. Once you've entered in the API key, you'll then click Save Changes. Now, once your API key is set up, what you'll need to do is you'll need to click on the link so that you can add in your shop name. Once you do that, you'll see two shortcodes that you'll be able to use inside of your WordPress posts and pages. So for example, if we were to take and copy this shortcode, we would then be able to go to a poster page to place that short code. And so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to add in a block. We're going to write in short code. Once we find the short code widget, we're going to place the short code in the dialog box. Once we do that, what we're going to do is we're then going to save, and we can then preview what the page is going to look like with that short code. And you'll then see the preview page of the post with your two listings from your Etsy shop. If we like what we see, what we can then do is click Publish. That means then that we can then view the page. And when your actual site visitor visits your site and sees the page, this is what they're actually going to see. You can also add in shortcode to a specific widget. So for example, what we can do is we can then place a text widget into either our footer or our sidebar. Once we do that, we can then place our shortcode inside of this area. And once again, we can preview our widget and how it's actually going to look. We can come back and refresh our page by clicking F5, and you'll see that the Etsy widget is now visible in the widget area. Now, what's characteristic of a widget is that the content that you have inside of the widget will appear on all of your pages in the sidebar. So another thing that we are going to want to add to our WordPress widget is going to be our opt-in form. And so we're going to need to go back to our email service provider to get code for our opt-in form so that we can add it to our widget. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our web form and we're going to go back to our code. We're then going to copy this code and we're then going to head back to our WordPress website. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to our widget area. Once we're inside of our widget area, what we're going to do is we're going to move in our custom HTML to the widget area. What we're then going to do is we're going to add in our code. Once we've done that, we'll then click Save. And then what we can do is we can preview our widget. And what you're going to see is our opt-in form is then going to be available in our widget sidebar. That means it's going to be available in the sidebar on our pages. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to obviously design your site with having your Etsy store in mind or your Etsy widgets as well as your opt-in widget. So one of the main things that you'll be creating with your WordPress website will be pages and posts that are keyword optimized in order to attract the eyes of individuals searching for certain content. What you'll be doing with this content is that you will be placing it inside of your written content area, and you'll be using it in order to hyperlink to certain places inside of your Etsy store. And you'll be saving these links inside of your content and publishing this content to make it available to individuals who are looking for certain information on your site as well as in search engines. Now, there are a number of strategies in order to amplify this content. One of the most used strategies by Etsy store owners is to use the website Pinterest. And while this is not a full-blown tutorial on how to use Pinterest, one of the things that you'll be doing is that you will be working to find keywords that people are searching for and then creating content in Pinterest around those keywords. And so to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to be creating pins. Those pins will then point to both your Etsy content as well as your website content. And so what you'll be doing is you'll be creating pins around the titles and subjects that people are searching for. When you place your destination link here, destination link will be those posts that you are creating that are directing people to your Etsy products. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to add in our destination link, and that's going to be on our WordPress website. Now what we need to do is we need to be able to create some kind of image that will be representative of what we want people to see and be attracted to. Once again, we're going to use our Canva account in order to accomplish this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to write in Pinterest because we want the correct size. And because we are doing a Pinterest pin, we're going to create a pin. And once we find a template, we're going to change the language on that template. Once we have the template looking the way we want, we're going to download that template. Once we have the template, what we're going to do is we're going to upload that template to our Pinterest pin. Once we then have our Pinterest pin in place, we can then save the pin. We'll then save it to an individual board. Once again, we'll want to make sure that this is going to be consistent with our keyword strategy. We can then check our actual pin. And what will happen is an individual that finds this pin in search will then be able to go to the link connected to the pin that we created. This will then send that individual to the blog page, and then they will then see our link to our Etsy store. So the search strategy is based on meeting the needs of people with information and then giving them the opportunity to click a link back to your Etsy store. We amplify that content by using sites like Pinterest. And finally, Etsy does make for a direct connection with your social media sites. So to do that, you're going to go inside of your settings area. You're then going to go inside of the marketing. You're then going to go to social media. What you'll first do in this area is you'll go to your social accounts. You'll then need to connect to your social accounts. So in this case, what we're going to do first is we're going to connect direct to Facebook. And we're then going to continue with our Facebook profile. And we'll then give Etsy permissions to post. Once we've done that, we will have linked our Etsy to Facebook. We can then connect our Etsy account direct to Pinterest. We'll give Etsy permission and then click OK. We'll then be connected. Now we can also connect our Instagram account. We don't have to direct connect to Etsy. However, we do want to make sure that we have the Sell on Etsy app installed on our mobile device. That means then that we'll want to make sure that we are searching for the Sell on Etsy app on our preferred device. Now you'll see the Etsy application, but what you'll want will be the one that says Sell on Etsy. So we're going to click Get. Once we do that, we're then going to click Open. We're then going to enter our username and our password. Once we sign in, your application will then be active. You'll then want to go to the Marketing tab. You'll then want to go to the Social Media tab. You'll then select a specific promotion. What you'll then do is you'll then set up your post. You'll then click Share. You'll then click Got It. And your post will then be ready to share to your social media channels, not available through your desktop. So what you'll now do is you'll create your post. You'll use one of the existing listings or create one from scratch. In this case, we're going to use an existing listing. And then we're going to write out our caption. Once we've done that, we'll then click Next. We'll then select the appropriate networks and we'll then post our promotion. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you in the next process.